Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Netherwar, titled Spiritual Awakening. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of superhero shenanigans. My name is Alex, and as always, I will continue to be your humble game master for this series.
Sorry.
Oh, I think Kevin has something to say.
No, I'm good.
It's weird. Overdrive has a heart attack, and now Cat can't play because of Kevin.
Okay, that was convoluted.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah, you can't kill me. I'm in Residence Body. Haha.
Tonight we are playing Mutants Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG, which happens to be produced by Green Ronin Publishing. It's a D20 system that allows players to create their own unique or iconic superheroes with enough crunch in the rules for folks who are into that sort of thing. It also features hero points, which are a special resource players can use to empower their heroes when the going gets tough. They can do stuff like increase their speed or strength for a turn, edit the scene, power stunts, all sorts of fun stuff. Instant counter, I get a lot of mileage out of over at City of Destiny, if you want to see how that works. They're earned through good role-playing, vivid descriptions, jokes I think are funny, and from you, the audience. If you follow, subscribe, or donate bits during the stream, you earn a hero point that you can give to the hero or GM of your choice, like I did just a minute ago, and I gave my free hero point to Kat, since she's allowed to play tonight. We have gathered some, I forgot to change this, gluten-free heroes tonight.
Wow.
Say hola, heroes.
Hola, heroes.
I want to give everyone a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves, the character they will be playing, where else we can find them, and have them answer my question of the day, which is, have you ever had a paranormal experience? Starting with Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm here to be abused by the chat and the other players and the GM. I mean, no. I'm here to play. Jeez. So I'm playing Overdrive, but in Resonance Body because, reasons. I can't think of anywhere else I'll be this week. It's that kind of Monday. So I'll just skip to the question of the day. I don't know. I've had some creepy moments. There's a small cemetery that there's a low wall around it, and there's no gate. And supposedly, if you walk 13 times around the wall at midnight on a full moon, someone's going to die. So, me and my idiot friends as teenagers, so this happened a long time ago. So we drove to the cemetery, and we're checking our watches. So we get up, we start walking around this wall, and it's a really old cemetery, and so trees are growing over the wall. And just as my friend Dave, who's at the front, there's a line of 4 or 5 of us walking on this cemetery wall as midnight approaches, and Dave is the first one in line. And just as he's starting his 13th trip around, he trips over a tree branch and falls into the cemetery, based on the angle of the moon, it was very bright out, but the entire graveyard itself was in shadow, and we all about crapped our pants and ran back to the car. So
Did you
that was
leave him?
Well, he wasn't dead. He jumped up out of the cemetery. He jumped up out of the cemetery like Luke Skywalker jumping out of the carbon freeze pit. But, which I feel was compensation, because one time while we used to work together at a retail store called Jamesway, which is of course long dead and gone. It's like the Walmart of its day. And I was down in the trash compactor because it had gotten jammed up with a pallet that someone threw in there. And someone turned the key while I was in there. And so I did a Luke Skywalker jump up out of the... Yeah, so that happened. Sorry, that was a really convoluted mess of a story. So I'm going to turn it over to Jonesy, who's going to give us a much tighter narrative.
Hi, everybody. I am Jonesy. Tonight I will be playing Mortis, our resident necromancer and keeper of the gate, the crossroads. And I am the only one who's not currently body swapped because of magical shenanigans. I will be, where else can you invite me? I'll be here on Wednesday for a very special stream that we're having on Wednesday. as for having a brush with a supernatural, paranormal weirdness, as a uh, child in elementary school, later years of elementary school, we went on a school trip. At this time, I lived in Germany, and we went on a school trip for a weekend to a renovated German castle. Part of it had been renovated, and students can stay there, and they did the tours around the castle and everything afterwards. So at night, we all got in. We're all hanging out in a big open room that a lot of us were sleeping in, and across the way, we swore we saw someone walking on the pyramids around the edge of the castle, which was really cool. Like, oh, why is the security guy out there? Whatever. Until the following day when we were on the tour of the grounds, and that part of the wall is gone, and no one could have been walking up there. So I don't know if it was just something they did to freak out the kids who stayed at the castle, or if it was something else. But it was definitely weird and cool. So with that, I will turn it over to Kat.
Hey guys, I'm Kat. I am playing Centuria in Overdrive's body, which is weird since, that's her husband, but not really, which is also weird. I'm only here on Mondays right now. I'm pretty much doing literally everything else in my free time, so yeah, I don't have anything else to say, so I'll answer the question of the day. I have never seen anything paranormal take place, at least nothing that I can think of. I would love to see something paranormal. I believe in ghosts, and I'm sure that that's out there. I haven't really put myself in the position to see something like that. So
Hey, we were at Alex's wedding reception. There was some paranormal stuff going on there.
Kevin being drunk does not count as paranormal.
What? Oh.
That was crazy to see, though. Yeah. So
now I feel the gauntlet's thrown down for Origins. Now I'm gonna have to really up my drunk game.
I almost said I'm not as old as Kevin, so I haven't had the opportunity to see.
Wow.
Leave it for the chat, Kat. You're taking their stuff.
Anyway, Andy.
Hi, I am Andy. I am here on Monday nights for our superhero shenanigans. You can also find me over on our YouTube page where I host our Storyforge series, and you can find me on our website where I make blog posts when I find inspiration, which has been lacking. You can also find me this Wednesday along with Jonesy for our very special continuation of a one-shot, because Alex can never write anything that lasts for 3 hours.
It'd be like that sometimes. It's not my job to be brief.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
is. Point.
So, tonight I am playing. Usually, I play Resonant, our resident gem mage. I am playing her, but in Bowman's body, because Freaky Friday shenanigans are happening. As for the question of the day, I'm fairly certain I've had a paranormal experience. I know that I have felt like I have been visited by the ghosts of dead relatives, mostly my grandparents, but never anything more than that. So I will go ahead and pass it over to Calvin.
Okay. Well, hey everybody, I'm Calvin, and normally I would be playing Bowman, the incredible archer with his awesome array of arrows, but he is currently in the body of Mortis, so he's learning a thing or two about magic. Both versions of him are, so we'll see how that ends up going. Normally I'm here on Mondays. I'm also in some one-shots and some other stuff that's coming up on this channel. And I'm over on the Win with Dice channel on YouTube, where we have weekly GM podcasts. The podcast is back this week, because last week I was just very tired. And we do a whole bunch of gaming streams, bunch of RPGs that I'm going to sink too many hours into. As for the question of the day, though, I've been trying to think of something, and honestly, I kind of avoid paranormal situations. Like, I'm not going to go somewhere where it's because why find out, right?
We must know, Calvin. We must know.
I'm pretty happy not knowing. I can not know some things. I don't mind. I can know other things. I have plenty of room for separate information and data. I don't need to know
Mm.
is any particular place super haunted or just kind of creepy looking. I'll stay home. And I guess with that, I'll pass it back to Alex with that non-answer.
Meanwhile, I'm busy pissing off every ghost I can find in a close proximity.
Or not so close proximity.
Yes, or not. My paranormal experience happened in Marietta during an overnight ghost hunt with my wife, where we went to the former home of Charles Dawes, who is the architect of the Dawes Plan, which essentially is the reason Germany had to pay for World War One. While we were in Charles Dawes' house, I mentioned offhand that I would probably be a ghost too if I was responsible for Hitler, and I felt a smack on the back of my head.
And it wasn't Liz?
It was not Liz.
Wow.
So I offended the ghost of Charles Dawes. That's my paranormal experience.
Seems appropriate.
Very, very appropriate. Without
Why would
further,
you say that in his house, man?
you know,
Just
The
looking
tour
to
guide-
get haunted.
the tour guide was just like, "This is who this is, and this is what they did." And I muttered it to myself. Because sometimes I have indoor thoughts that turn into outdoor thoughts.
You're not disembodied.
No, I'm not disembodied. But yeah, I think without further ado, we are good to get started on our own haunted escapades this evening. So last week on Netherwar, our heroes continued their investigation at Farrowburg, where they headed off to the River House Hotel, searching for Dr. Necros or Hexenhammer or some semblance of where either of those villains had gotten off to. They were able to access Tobias Faulkner's hard drive, where they got a bit of a message from Dr. Necros in the form of a dictated Google Doc. Mortis got that information. And then they headed off to this hotel where they ran into the spirit of Dr. Lawrence Solomon, a serial killer from Farrowburg's history. And they found a very nice police officer named Officer Armstrong who offered them all lemon squares, and only Centuria took it later.
I took the whole box.
You did. Hopefully you'll share them with everybody else
Debatable.
for no nefarious purpose.
Yeah, every time you say it though, like I get less sure that
Say it
nothing's
like
gonna
that.
happen later.
Officer Armstrong was put there to make sure nobody else went into the haunted hotel. She did let the heroes know that 3 teenagers did sneak in, and she did not go after them because it was a haunted hotel, and that's bad news. They found the kids inside the hotel. They rescued them. They put a couple of spirits to rest. They fought the ghost of Dr. Solomon, and then they emerged from the hotel. Throughout their expedition through the haunted building, they did get a couple of extra psychic messages from Dr. Necros, detailing some plans and detailing some various things that Dr. Necros has in the works for the city of Farrowburg. And a warning to Mortis to stay out of it, because Dr. Necros is going to solve the problem that Mortis created, in Dr. Necros' own words. Upon exiting the house and putting the spirits of Dr. Solomon's victims to rest once and for all, the heroes got a message from Officer Armstrong saying that Detective Tanner, Mortis' old friend, is looking to speak with them back at the precinct headquarters, and that is where we rejoin our heroes tonight, on their way back to the police department. Over to you, heroes.
So back to the police precinct.
I can
Thanks.
hang it back again just in case we don't want to. Again, this is the same moody guy who gave us the so I'll just hang back again so we don't freak him out with 2 Mortises.
It's fair. Cool. So you guys race across town. It's getting pretty late at this point. It's after midnight in Farrowburg. You do reach the police precinct. You find a couple of cars parked out front. See a couple of officers manning the front desk. A couple of sleepy fellas. You're ushered up to Detective Tanner's office. And, he does not seem happy to see you. Still surly. Still has a box of donuts that's about half eaten at this point. He's got a looks like his third or fourth cup of coffee, and he is going through a couple of different case files. He still has Tobias's computer open, and a couple of guys are clacking away at it. Oh, hey, Will! It is so good to see you. Thank you for subscribing. Who do you want to give your free hero point to? While Will's deciding that, Detective Tanner looks up. His sleeves are rolled up. He's got his jacket off at this point. Very thin, blonde hair on top of his head. Oh, good. You guys didn't get killed by the ghost of the hotel.
No, I mean, we shouldn't be seeing any more issues with him.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. You find any more signs of where your loose necromancer got off to?
He wasn't very forthcoming with his travel plans.
I do know that Dr. Necros has something larger in motion.
Yeah, you supervillain types always do, don't you? Well, a couple of the nerds have been going through the computer. I'm doing some investigating, looking around, see if I can find any other paranormal sightings. If you all want to dig in and help.
At this point, it's our best lead.
And yeah, he'll show you to where the computers are. He'll open up a bunch of filing cabinets and basically put you guys to work in an investigation skill challenge.
Okay.
I'll start with Mortis. What do you want to do to contribute?
Morgus. Let's check his character sheet. I've got a couple things that could help out here. I've got knowledge of the city itself, but I also have knowledge of the local villains. I would like to try to look for, since I know about the city, I'd like to try to find areas that might be prone to having supernatural activity there. And see if there's any reports from any of the areas I think there's just possible suspicious activity could be going down it.
Cool. Go ahead and give me an expertise Pharaohbird check.
No, that was a 12.
Oof.
It's way too early for me to burn 0 points, so.
So with a 12, that is going to be a failure for the skill challenge. Basically, the only penalty for that is the next person is going to get a -2 circumstance penalty to their check. Mortis, do you want to go ahead and sort of describe how you're doing this and how it goes wrong?
Yeah, so I'm, it's been years since I've lived here, but I'm trying to go through and places I know that possible occult activity has happened or could be happening. Haunted cemeteries, haunted hotels. Location of supposedly Mary Marshall's witch house or whatever. And as I'm going through, I'm looking for any kind of crime reports for things like that. And I come up blank with dead end after dead end.
Awesome. Yeah, Detective Tanner's like, that ain't a hotel no more. That's a Denny's. Which is haunted in its own way, but it's not going to do us a lot of good, Super Scroll. And we'll pass it over to whoever wants to go next, but they will receive a -2 penalty to what they're going to try to do.
All right.
My investigation's pretty good. I think I could eat that -2.
Go for it then.
Okay. Well, Bo Mortis is going to, I guess, try to. Well, if we're in the position we're in right now, gosh, I almost want to just pass it off to Jason, but probably looking up. Part of me wants to look up like old Necros case files to see if there's any sort of like old hideouts he used to have, any sign of what sort of trail he's leaving behind. But it might be more prudent to look into the actual locations of that soul vault diagram we'd seen before, since we know that's an active thing going on.
Sure. Yeah, you can look. You could try to research haunted locations in those cardinal direction points because the vault is in the process of being constructed. It's not quite.
Yeah, so like we know where the points should generally be. So maybe an idea of like what location would work for that.
Sure. Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. Oof. It is in fact too early. So
Wow.
at least I absorbed our failure into a worse failure. I rolled a 1, so
So, Bo Mortis, you're like floating around the station going through case files, and Detective Tanner runs into you.
like literally,
He probably walks through you, actually.
which is a pretty weird experience because that's his first time with intangibility. Someone going through him. So he's
I
like,
thought you was in the other room. And he looks over his shoulder and sees the other one over there. Wait a minute, are you duplicating yourself now? What is...
yes, it's a new kind of magic that I learned.
Great, you can disappoint your parents twice as often.
Just does the Bowman glare with Mortis's face.
Why is Mortis doing that weird voice all of a sudden?
Get back in there, get yourself together, and get back to helping out the investigation.
Sure thing, detective. He will slink off back into the room, being worse than unhelpful, I think.
So that -2 penalty will roll on to the next person.
All right.
That's calling my name. All right, so
Oh, jeez.
so realizing we're not having much luck establishing a paper trail. Overdrive as a resident who's not real happy with all the glimpses into other people's thoughts and feelings that this gig entails will kind of wincingly try to sense familiar magic that might be leading us in the right direction. So the magic sensing allows me to use perception for that, yes?
Yes, it sure does.
Is there a way to put the -2 into the roller or just take 2 off whatever comes up?
Just take 2 off of whatever comes up. It's not. It's possible, but not in a way that's makes a lot of sense.
Practical. Okay.
Well, you just add it in the blue section next to the skill.
Yeah, but then you have to delete it off
Oh.
again. It's only a one-time penalty,
I know.
assuming somebody rolls
Oh,
well.
for the love of God! You know what? I'm spending a hero point because I'm tired of this mess. Really? A 2? I don't think so.
It started with a 3, went to a 1,
3,
went to
1,
a 2.
2. Yeah, this is a bunch of crap.
Roll 20's out to get you guys tonight. It's not even my fault.
It really is. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, because
for the
there's
love
1
of
again.
God, there's a natural 1, but it's on a hero point reroll, so that's a 27. I quit.
27 is a
Wait,
success.
I am home.
27
I
is
am
a
home.
success. So, Kevin, will you tell me what this looks like as your resonant form begins to pick up the energies of the Soul Vault magic in different parts of the city?
So, again, never having done this before, Overdrive sort of starts stretching out that magical sense and getting the first glimpse inside this Soul Vault. Screeches, and then of course, oh, I sound like a girl. Oh wait, I am a girl right now. So then he's like, okay, buckle down, focus, and then with a little extra effort, is able to sort of finally start tracking down or at least triangulating where some of the Soul Vault energy is coming from to help refine the search.
Beautiful. All right, Andy and Kat, however you would like to contribute to this round of the skill check, because I think we're going to go into round 2 of a skill check for the first time in a long time.
Did you want to go, Kat, or did you want me to go?
I can go. I'm literally just going to speed read through all of the files that I can to see if I can find anything useful.
That sounds like a speed check to me.
Speed. Oh, God. Wait, which one is speed?
That's just
What
a
did I roll?
D20 plus 18.
What is
God.
it? No!
Oh.
This is a
Jeez.
bunch of utter crap.
Does that succeed?
The
That's
laws of probability.
A 22?
a 22 is a success. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it.
Um,
Wow.
That's our highest roll of the night. A 4. That's glorious.
so
That's a good sign.
Century Drive is speed reading through all of the files. You do find a couple of different locations. Some that Detective Tanner has flagged as being haunted locations, and some other ones that he missed in his initial investigation. So you pulled up a pretty decent list of locations. And Resonant.
Okay. So Resonant's kind of going over the case files, and she's looking for things that don't look like they would normally go together, but kind of strike her that, hey, this is weird and this one's weird. And basically I'm going to use insight to kind of piece together arbitrary clues from different things to try to put a better picture together.
Awesome.
That's a 37.
Hey, there's a 17 on the dice.
Hey.
Well, thanks to Resonant's wisdom, we do not have to go into a second round of the skill challenge. Resonant, what's it look like as you're pulling this information together?
So as Centuria is actually speed reading things and like throwing the case files down, Resonant will kind of pick up a couple of them and just start laying stuff out and be like, wait a second. She's reading through. She goes, and that, and she builds that conspiracy theory board with the red string pointing to everything.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Just pinned up with arrows.
Yeah, just pinned it up with arrowheads.
It's my yarn arrow. Awesome. So yeah, you're building the conspiracy board. Detective Tanner's looking at it with you. And you guys acquire a decent amount of information from your skill challenge. I'm going to pass a bunch of information out. If you guys want to divvy up who wants to read what, there's a little bit to go through. You do pick up a little more information from Tobias's hard drive, which I will show to everyone.
Nerds.
Tobias, I told you, you will have the serenity you seek. I know these visions trouble you so, but trust that I will bring the hammer down on them. Hey, please continue the dictation, Derek. Oh, Derek, I have seen things in that afterlife, things that would send you screaming for the void. The scintillating darkness calls to us all. Sheesh. I barely understood who or what was speaking to me. You know of whom I speak. Una, queen of the Netherworld. A little dramatic for my taste, but she is not exaggerating. She will be the death of everything. And not in the way you or I understand it. We are two sides of the same coin, my son. Miracle virtuosos who use death as others perform music take to the stage, or compose sonnets. Death is our instrument. It plays the notes that we command, but Una seeks to silence the song. She has tasted the soul vault and corrupted what it means. The power that you gave her through failure is what she will use to end life, death, and everything beyond. Do not come between me and the solution. The sacrifice I am making is already punishment enough. We don't have the time I need to convince you.
I love the commentary, Kevin, at the beginning of you reading that.
Oh boy.
Between Overdrive and Resonant, Centuria Drive and Bow Resin, you find a list of hauntings.
So we have the River House Hotel, haunted by dozens of spirits, most notably the victims of Dr. Lawrence Solomon. Scratch that out. Taken care of. Front Street Theater, a historic theater said to be haunted by dozens of former patrons, including President Abraham Lincoln, opera singer Inga Herzog, and theater founders Christian and Christina Kessler. Barnes Banking House, defunct bank on the east side of town, rumored to be haunted by the vengeful spirit of old Belladonna Drabeck, a Romani woman whose home was foreclosed on by an up-and-coming young banker named Fiona Carlyle in the 80s. Express Espresso, coffee shop on the southeast side of the city, said to be haunted by Ellie Cormack, a barista who died in a freak industrial coffee maker accident. I'm just going to blink a couple of times because...
That would suck.
Yep. La Santuza Cemetery, Italian cemetery rumored to be the restless resting place of dozens of mobsters and their victims, particularly Portia Marcone, the founding matriarch of the Marcone crime family. Willow Plaza, a green space in downtown Faribault, said to be haunted by the restless spirit of Tameka Jones, a switchboard operator who was strangled there by a jilted ex-lover. And the Church of Ethereal Wisdom. Some claim that the church is haunted by the restless spirits of people that have suffered at the hands of the good reverend, particularly Levi Myers, who was killed in a preteen conversion therapy session gone wrong.
Mm-mm.
There's a green space in downtown Faribault? I figured it would just be as gray as everything else.
Green's
And
a
that's
strong
your
word.
takeaway. Yeah.
And then you all are able to acquire some extrapolation about the ritual that that Dr. Necros mentioned in his visions last time.
These are so long.
You're telling me I had to write them.
Alright. You want me to do it, or Calvin, do you want to do it?
I mean, you hopped in. So.
Yeah, but I like listening to you read better.
Wow.
Okay. Putting together your mystical knowledge, you guys are able to extrapolate the expurgate mortuos derelictos. Dr. Necros mentioned he wanted to use it to undo the damage done by Una, and this ritual could possibly do so, at least for a time. Generally, the exorcist makes the following sacrifices of themselves. A sacrifice of piety, north. This is a sacrifice of their immortal soul. They diminish themselves before God, and their life essence becomes frailer. Throughout the rest of their life, they will be more susceptible to corruption and sin. A sacrifice of wealth, east. A literal loss of money. The larger the amount, the more likely the ritual is to succeed. A sacrifice of flesh, southeast. The exorcist must give a piece of their literal body to the ritual. Most go with a patch of skin or blood, but some go up to the fingers or whole limbs. Again, the higher the amount, the more powerful the spell. A sacrifice of time, southwest. The exorcist gives up at least a year of their mortal life. The more years they give up, the more potent the spell. A sacrifice of self, west. The exorcist gives up something living that is dearly personal to themselves, usually a pet, a spouse, a friend, or in extreme cases, a child. Dr. Necros appears to be using the principles of this ritual in conjunction with the machinery of the Soul Vault. As best you can tell, he is gathering ghosts to represent the sacrifices in an attempt to supercharge the spell. With that knowledge, you can infer he needs the following kinds of spirits to succeed. A sacrifice of piety, north, a spirit of an incredibly religious and righteous figure. A sacrifice of wealth, east, the spirit of an incredibly wealthy figure. A sacrifice of flesh, southeast, either the spirit of someone who mended a significant amount of flesh in their time, or one that sought their pound of flesh in acts of great vengeance. A sacrifice of time, southwest, the spirit of an innocent child taken much too soon, bonus points if their death was particularly tragic. And a sacrifice of self, west, the spirit of a loved one who has passed on that the caster is willing to cast into oblivion, never to be resurrected again.
That's what we were afraid of.
Yeah.
And so if he's using ghosts, obviously the last one is somebody we don't want to lose. And the first one very well may be that same ghost that he had tracked down Nick.
It did come off as a very righteous figure.
Mm-hmm. The rest of those, we put an end to the doctor who did an awful lot of flesh rending.
Out of character reminder, he did steal the spirit of Sister Bianchi from the hotel.
There is that too, yes. Okay, so rewind that. So Sister Bianchi could be the pious one, the person who did a lot of, was it flesh rending or flesh mending?
Mending, I thought it said.
Or who took their pound of flesh.
Yes.
One that sought their pound of flesh in acts of great vengeance. That theoretically could be the spirit of the...
Sacrifice of time is probably the Church of Ethereal Wisdom kid
Seems
in the
most likely.
conversion therapy session.
Well, those locations we found, of them, the ones I personally have ties to is the cemetery and the church. I am responsible for the death of Carlos Marcone of the Marcone crime family.
That could be the incredibly wealthy figure, or at least the
Or
matriarch, maybe.
For the pound of flesh.
Were they a particularly vengeful person?
Well, it's a crime family. If you get on the wrong side of them, you end up in the river. And the church is the one run by my father, or stepfather.
So we need to somehow stop him from getting these spirits. So.
Could already be too late. But we should hurry then. Do we want to go to the cemetery or the church first? We may only have time for one.
Well, which one's the closest?
Alex?
Well, it's funny that you should mention that.
They're equal.
They are equidistant from each other.
As a matter of fact, they are equidistant from the police precinct.
Just in opposite directions.
And to give you an idea of in which order, La Centuza is southeast of where you are. The church is southwest of where you are. And was there another location that you were looking for? The River House Hotel is north of where you are.
No, it was just those two that we were discussing going to.
And Bow Resonant, you have received a ping from Jason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Jason, what's up?
Hey, is Bowman there?
Yeah.
Can you let him know that somebody's sending him a message on our encrypted channel?
Why aren't you telling me this, Jason?
Because you're not Bowman.
And exactly what makes you think that?
You said I was doing a good job.
You don't think that I could have grown in the time that I've been away from you?
You've been gone for like 2 days.
We have to talk to.
You're also not doing the voice.
We have to talk to someone about his Karen.
What voice?
Well, if you are Bowman, I'm going to pass this message forward through to you. And if Bowman is there, show him too.
Just put it through, Jason. So, mysterious encrypted note. I've seen you poking around my city. I don't know what your game is, but I've seen another tourist that I think belongs to you. He's making quite a mess in a warehouse over on 23rd and Martin Luther King Boulevard right now. Figured you'd like to know. W.
Can I make a roll?
Yeah.
So, so would this be knowledge Fierberg? Knowledge Fierberg villains?
I'd say knowledge Fierberg. He's not a villain.
Vigilante.
22.
Mortis, you are aware that there is a mysterious figure in Fierberg known as the Witness, who often passes leads on to other vigilantes or even occasionally to the police when they're not being jerks.
So ever.
Very sparingly.
So I will share that information with the team as far as who W probably is.
Do you think that might be where Necros is?
Well, it depends. His 23rd and Martin Luther King Boulevard, are any of the locations that we found?
It is not.
It said tourist in the notes. Probably someone from outside of town. I mean, Necros is a local here, right?
Yeah, 23rd and MLK is southeast of where you are right now, but it is not in the cemetery.
Good. The cemetery is the closest one to it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, 2 birds, 1 stone. Stop there on the way down to the cemetery.
And Calvin, to answer your question, I do think Dr. Necros is a local from Fearobird.
Yes.
Whoever this is, do we have time to deal with them? We're kind of on the clock.
At least figure out who it is.
All right,
All
are
right.
you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Whoosh!
We cast whoosh.
As we whoosh, I will move us over to the Roll20 map. Overlay.
As we cast whoosh, there's another whoosh, and the box of donuts is now lighter.
Yeah, when we get to the place we're going, there's definitely a donut in Centuria Drive's hand.
Wonderful.
Alex, really?
I did that on purpose.
I'm gonna use the forklift.
Good. So, as you all arrive at this warehouse, you can hear profuse yelling inside and laser blasts firing off. The yelling appears to be punctuated by loud metal clanging, and there are a couple of night guards running the other direction as you approach this warehouse.
Can get the attention of one of them as they're running by?
Yeah.
What's going on in there?
There's a ghost! And he runs away from you.
Well, it's not unhelpful.
And another guard will look at you and say, "There's some guy with a hammer in there who's losing his shit."
Uh-oh.
It's more helpful.
Someone say hammer? This ain't good.
I'm
Oh, crap.
should go deal with the problem.
Yeah. I will try to race off and then realize I don't have super speed anymore. Go.
Oh.
So we clip our actual tokens, but our character sheet initiative thing,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yeah, everybody go ahead and roll for initiative as you come into the warehouse. You do see in the warehouse itself, I'll just sort of move you guys up a little bit to the entrance. You're free to enter from any direction you want to, but as you come in, you do see Hexenhammer, who you recognize from the security camera footage from a couple of days ago. He appears to be tangling with a couple of tough-looking guys wearing this high-power, futuristic armor with Aegis written on the breast.
Green on green.
No.
It's probably blue on blue, or blue on gray.
Blue on gray at least works.
Mortis, you do recognize a couple of them as being Marcone toughs.
What? When did they get the Integrating update?
You like it?
They were standard issue thugs when I left.
Yeah, then we got attacked by a ghost guy. We had to up our arsenal. And Hexenhammer. Alright, initiative. I'll sort everybody in descending order. Centuria Drive, no surprise, you're on first with a 46. Then Bow Resin has a 22. The Marcon Thugs have a 21. Overdrive has a 15. Mortis has a 13. Bow Mortis has a 12. And Hexenhammer has a 10. We'll be pulling up the rear. So, over Churia, what would you like to do?
So, okay. So obviously, ideally, I would like to attack the Ghost Man, but are the mercenary guys like bad too? Or are they just trying to fight the Ghost Man?
Hard to say. Find that answer vague and unconvincing.
That's the Ghost Man. And there's no hostages.
It doesn't look like it. There are a couple of these guys in the armor that are sort of unconscious at his feet. They look like the armor plates have been smashed in by his hammer.
Shoot, y'all, I don't really know what to do. I don't know how to play this character. I guess I'll try to hit him, you know. Heavy doubt that it's gonna work, but do my best. I'm gonna...
I believe in you.
What do I want to do? I'll do unsympathetic vibrations. Where am I? Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, this map is giving me anxiety. Where did my character go? There it is. Ignore me. I'm falling apart. Okay, unsympathetic vibrations. Nat 20. Crit. 27 to hit. DC 30.
Of course it is.
Why?
Ouch. That hurts.
Does it?
Is it DC 30?
With the crit?
Kevin, is that an affliction or is that damage resisted by dodge?
Unsympathetic vibrations is an affliction.
Okay, it's not an affliction rank 15, is it?
No.
Yes.
Or is it?
Yes.
Oh my
Wow.
God. Yeah, okay. Cool. Cool. Very cool.
Cool.
When you got the points, you spend them.
This is my fault.
Hmm.
Well,
I'm here for that.
I'm going to give you a hero point so you don't one-shot my villain.
No!
He's got things to do.
Let me one-shot him as Overdrive. It'll be iconic.
No. That's a 32 with the hero point reroll.
Lame. I hated that. Can I spend a hero point to make you reroll?
Actually, Kat, your luck control does allow you to force a reroll. You have to spend one of your luck points to force a reroll and take the worst of the two rolls.
Can I do that, Alex?
You sure can.
Okay.
Flawless victory.
Roll it again. Shit.
The 8 is worse out of the two, but they're both.
Yeah, they're both above 30, so.
Big sad. Okay, well.
Yeah.
You know. I almost one-shot him, so.
Right. Deuce, she rolled a critical hit, so she gets another 5 ranks to get it up to 30.
Oh, okay.
The plus 5 damage for the.
I didn't know if you applied the crit to all things or just to damage effects. But...
I apply it to all things. I don't know 100% what it is rules is written, which is not good because that's my job, but...
Pish posh. We can't have competent leadership in the 21st century. Aren't you paying attention?
When did we ever have competent leadership?
True.
You're too young to remember. It was better once, Andy. It was better once.
4 times.
Before the dark times. Before the Empire.
Centuria Drive, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Yes, because I'm not Centuria. I'm a run back. I'm gonna run over here.
Fair. Bosenant.
All right. Double move on top of the crate to get height and a better vantage point to see things.
Cool. Bozanet, with your muscle memory and Bowman's innate paranoia, you do get the impression that those guys in the max armor are not good news.
Okay. And pass that information along to my teammates.
Awesome. Do you want to do anything else on your turn?
That's 2 moves. So 1 move and a standard to move again. So
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to get fatigued or anything.
nah, I'm good for now.
Cool.
He's a little too eager to suggest going
Could have
fatigue.
grapple arrowed up there in 1 movement.
No,
Oh,
because your
oh.
grapple arrow only does 30 feet. It's the same as the normal movement, just on a swing line.
My movement is 60. Don't I have a? I had a
Oh, did you?
thing.
I didn't
I
see
forget
it.
the name of. Let me look at my sheet because I've certainly been moving 60. So,
No, you do. You have speed 4. Okay.
there it is.
Okay, so I guess it didn't require a double move to get up there. So in
So
that
fast.
case, yep.
If you would use the voice, you would remember the skills.
No. In that case, I will put a foam arrow between the red max and the one to its southeast to catch both of them.
You're just gonna blast my little brainiac symbol over there?
Yep. Yes, I am. So this is a foam arrow. I'm assuming because of the warehouse shelving, I can't get any of the other guys.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're on top of a shelf. You could probably center it there and get those guys.
Okay, let's do those. Yeah,
That
let's
actually
do that.
gets all of the guys.
Okay, perfect. Foam arrow it is.
Hey, what the heck?
19.
That's a burst area, right?
Yes, it is a burst area.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 succeed, 3 fail. The 2 that succeed are rolling against dodge 14. One of them
One
is
fail.
going to be hindered and vulnerable because they're not
Yes.
minions. And then the 3 that failed are rolling against 18. Okay,
2 fail.
so 3 total have failed. 2 of them are hindered and vulnerable. 1 of them is immobilized and defenseless.
Yep.
And I'll just go in order of who they are. So this one. I'm gonna drag it over there because the hero point thing's on the way. This one. And this one. What happens, Bozanet?
So pull out a swing arrow, get on top of the stack of crates, and fire off a foam arrow. She's
How many
used
crates?
to
Oh.
all the crates. She's used to encapsulating things with ice, so the foam is as close as she's gonna get at the moment.
I have a freeze arrow.
Awesome. The Marcone Toughs in their max armor. The 2 that are not currently hindered or vulnerable. One of them is going to fly over this way and take a laser shot at Hexenhammer.
Your frost arrow is only single target, though, isn't it, Calvin?
Yeah, it is. And it only immobilizes.
23 will miss Hexenhammer. So this guy rockets over with his rocket boots, lifts up this big ass laser rifle, takes a couple of pot shots, and Hexenhammer bats the lasers away with his hammer. This one's gonna fly over here and rocket punch Bowman because he wants to mess with the guys. He wants to mess with the boys. And roll a 1 on the dice. So rockets over rocket fists, and Bowman nimbly dodges out of the way. But he will remain in melee range. The 2 that are hindered. One of them is going to try to break out using dodge. Or, sorry, damage. So it's a d20 plus 8. He will break out, but that's his turn. And the one, this one will also try to do that. He will break out. And the one that is immobilized and defenseless will also try. will succeed on getting out. But that is their turns. Overdrive, Zenit.
And I'd like to point out, I noticed there was only one initiative you snickered at, sir. But anyway, Andy, am I reading this right? Is this bestow the veil, shadow, and soul descriptors to allies' attacks? Will that allow their attacks to affect insubstantial?
No, that is the one that basically the way any of the bestow powers work is that it gives them the specific descriptors. So if something's weak against those specific descriptors, you're hitting for weakness versus not.
So I guess then you try a resonant 101 trick that Nint has not tried yet? Can I attempt to assess Hexenhammer to see if he would be affected by any of said descriptors? Like, is that how that works?
Sure. Go ahead
I
and give me
mean,
an
Andy is
insight
pleased
check.
as punch.
Everybody
My
mark your
insight is
bingo
fine.
cards.
Yeah. Hey. All right. Oh, that's not the wrong. So many windows. All right. Insight. Here we go.
It's been a long time
Maybe.
since we've had a fight in a warehouse. I think Nightfire was our last warehouse fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which was also my
Yes.
fault. I bring all the warehouses.
All right. So that is a 26 on insight.
And that is resisted by Hexenhammer's insight, which is a insight
Number?
or will. His will is a little higher than his insight, so I roll a will save. So you beat him by 2 degrees, so you're able to figure out that he is the same power level as you. You're able to figure out one of his numbers, and you're able to figure out that he does not have a descriptor that he is weak to, but he does have a descriptor that he is immune to.
Okay.
And that descriptor
Good.
is magic.
Sons of guns. There goes my whole attack plan. All right.
And you're able to get one of his exact numbers if you would like.
What is his dodge?
His dodge is 14.
Okay. So I will sort of shout out. He's pretty hard to hit and he's immune to magic. This is not good. So just as a point of reference, is everything, because is all this resonant stuff magic descriptor?
It is, but you could bestow the veil on yourself to make it not magic descriptor.
That is so messed up. All right. So I guess I'll have to do that next time.
You could technically do that.
Oh, make it psionic instead of magic. Oh, clever. I like it.
And resonance, innate, subconscious tells you that.
Yeah. Allow myself to talk to myself.
Actually, he can't because all of the bestow powers are.
Affect
Not
those
self-
only.
Yes.
Son of a...
Oh.
Now I see why I'm trapped in this body.
What?
I've been nullified.
Sorry, Kevin.
This is like that time. It's like that time in Bill's Forgotten Realms game where I built a wizard around the fire descriptor, and we spent most of the campaign on the Plane of Shadow. Not cool.
Mm. The good thing is there's a bunch of guys in heavy armor that aren't immune to magic, probably.
That's true. And I could throw them at Hexenhammer. Good point.
They're now ranged area effect weapons.
Nobody's immune to the Corpse Club.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Gadunk, gadunk, gadunk. All right.
Overdrive, would you like to take a move action?
Yeah, I will fly up because, I really miss moving fast. So, 50 miles an hour is not fast, but it's faster than I can walk. So I'll be like hovering over here, looking all target of opportunity, kind of, look at me, don't attack my friends.
Beautiful. All right, Mortis, over to you.
Seeing my buddy, Hexen, I'm going to fly over to get a little closer, and then I'm going to reach out with my ethereal grasp and grab you a forklift.
Yay!
Oh, no.
Oh yes.
He's not immune to forklifts.
Scripter forklift.
Forklift again, MVP.
And I'm going to introduce Hexenhammer to the forklift. Assuming I can.
Say hello to my lifting friend.
Give me your hero point, Andy.
That was good. That was really good. So, since the forklift seems to be an area effect weapon, what do you need me to roll, or do I need to roll? What do I need to roll?
Is your move object area of effect, or is it move object damaging?
Move object with damaging.
Okay, go ahead and roll the roll to hit with it. Unless you want to stunt it as an area of effect thing, you just want to like drop it there and make it explode.
Kaboom.
Which you could. I mean, you get some of your friends in it, but you could get the you can get these guys with it. Those two max guys.
It's not enough propane.
So I'm looking for my.
Is it wrong that just became an Eric Clapton song in my head? Sorry.
Zero grasp. I got 23.
23 will just miss Hexenhammer.
I think I need some Irish coffee for my next beverage.
But if you'd like to spend a hero point, I will have it explode when it misses him and hits the ground behind him.
There's no more forklift to throw.
It is still a viable ranged weapon. So you do. What does it look like, Mortis, as you conjure up this ethereal grasp around this large vehicle?
So I kind of reach out with my arm, and as I reach out, this purplish black energy kind of extends, and the whole wavy ness effect extends out, like does like the whole creepy claw thing wraps around the the forklift and swings through his area as he leaps out of the way. But I'm still holding it with my ghostly creepy claw hand. So I'm going to swing again next round.
Excellent. So Hexenhammer dodges out of the way. It whooshes over him. He swings around with the hammer, ready to wail on somebody.
Probably me.
Yeah, he does not like ghosts or gay people.
Didst thou try to hit me with a forklift?
That too. I'm like, strike three. You tried it with the forklift as well. So yeah.
Bowman, over to you.
Well, I'm kind of into that idea of throwing stuff. Can I throw one of these dudes at him using the ethereal grasp?
If you can grab a hold of him.
Cool. How do I do those things?
Ethereal grasp is on my on the attack section at the top.
Right. So it roll to grab with the guy, and then
Yep, you got to
would I
roll
need a
to hit
separate action to
him.
throw?
Yep, you got to roll to hit him, and then you'll roll to hit Hexenhammer with him.
Okay. What is the range of ethereal grasp?
It's
It's a power, so it's probably pretty high.
Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah, it is very high.
yeah. I'm pretty OP.
Okay, well, I can do it from back here. So I'll just go for the one that's punching my body's beautiful face.
I mean, it missed.
Trying to punch my body's beautiful face.
Hey, that's my body.
How many teeth have you lost in combat with?
You guys don't even know what's going to happen when the Tooth Fairy shows up in next season.
Oh no. So I have to lose at least one tooth in every reality.
I was gonna say, you mean the tooth that Bowman lost in the Terminus?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's one on the Fondy too.
Yeah, there's a Tooth Fairy in the Terminus, and she is not happy that you left a tooth without receiving payment.
Oh god. Okay, here comes the grasp for Mech Dude.
That will hit Mech Dude. So go ahead and roll a d20 plus 12. I'll compare it to his movement, and that'll determine how much control you have over chucking him around.
1d20 plus 12, you say?
Yes,
say.
good.
Oh, I didn't put a space. Sorry if I seem out of it. It's only because I am. There we go. 19.
So you have successfully grabbed a hold of him. Go ahead and chuck him at Hexenhammer.
Okay,
Even
so
if you
with
mix Hex and Hammer, this guy will have to roll against the damage of the toughness save.
would that fall under a throw then, or?
No,
Just
it'll
the
be
Ethereal
Ethereal Grasp again.
Oh, just okay.
Yep.
Ooh, I really want this to work, so as early as it is, I will spend a point on that.
Two Mortises attack you. Ha 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 ha.
Hopefully, I don't die. But here comes another one. There we go. 25.
Beautiful. 25 is a hit on Hex and Hammer.
Yeah.
So, the max guy will roll a toughness versus 27. He gets a B and a D.
No, don't use those.
Don't use B and D.
Don't use B and D.
And Hex and Hammer will roll against the same 27. He will take a bruise.
Groovy.
What happens, Mortis? And are you lurking over there in the shadows as you are in the map, or do you move anywhere before you grab them?
I'll emerge into the light. That sounds like a really cool effect, even though it's probably dumb for me to do because mechanically I don't need to move closer. But it looks cool, so I'm doing it.
That's half a Mortis right there. Does it look cool? Will it be cinematic? Yes.
Exactly. So having seen the motions and casting required to throw a forklift, Bo Mortis is going to attempt to do the same thing, again targeting this guy in his forklift-like armor, and then throwing him towards Hex and Hammer. Probably a pretty awkward throw, but he's had years of being accurate with various weapons, so that might have worked in his favor.
Excellent. And he just slams into Hex and Hammer, who wasn't quite ready for it. It looks like he braced a little bit, but he was counting on his magic immunity to carry him through. But this guy is not made of magic. He is made of person. So the person slams into him. They both come down in a bit of a heap. And Hex and Hammer will rise. Look in the direction of Mortis, Resonant, and Mortis, and say, "Mine eyes be besmirched by thrice the witchery. Have at thee!" And he will leap over here.
Did you just have at thee?
Did have at the.
And he will have at Mortis with his hammer strike. He's going to use multi-attack, and his plan is to attack Mortis, Resonant, and Bo Mortis. Over
Oh,
Resonant.
kabong.
So subtract 3 from this, Mortis. 26 to hit Mortis.
It's gonna be a hit. Yep.
DC 27 toughness save, please.
30.
Mortis does not care. So he slams this magical hammer into you. You are
And I
unpleasant.
go ghostly just in time, and it swings right through me.
Nice.
Yes, I shall remember to turn back on the ghost slamming part of my magic hammer when I come back around to face thee again, villain. And he will leap up and attack Resinman. With a 20 to hit Resinman?
Oh, I so forgot my defense number. Let me double check that. I don't think that's going to do it.
Shouldn't.
A 20? Get thee behind me, Satan.
And then he will spring over here and attack Bo Mortis. With a 26 to hit Bo Mortis.
Oof. Pretty sure that'll do it.
And Bo Mortis, you see the
Just
hammer
good.
crackles with magical energy as it's coming your way.
Ghost smite.
Oops.
Wish I didn't use that point, but yeah, 26 will hit.
Cool. Give me a toughness save, please.
Okay, toughness. Going to be... I can do that. Oof.
Oof is right. That's a difference of 15, so you are staggered, Bo Mortis.
Sure am.
So he comes up, the hammer crackling with magical energy. You sort of instinctually phase to get out of it, and he just wrecks you with it. You feel this current of holy energy pass through your ghostly body, forcing you back to solid.
And yeah, it is again another strange sensation. He's used to being hit by things, but this is very much outside of his wheelhouse.
He raises the hammer above his head and points down at you. You will be vexed, vile villain, when I send thee back to hell.
Wow. Wow.
The only one going back to death is you.
Why are you doing that voice?
What
Sorry, why art
What
thou doing
voice?
that voice? Centuria Drive.
Dude,
Since he just
Jan,
did that to Bo Mortis right next to me, I'm gonna jump on him with some Fists of Fury, I think. Well, hopefully. 27?
Yeah, that'll jump on him.
DC 26?
Here we go.
Is that one multi-attack?
Uh,
I think so, with a name like that.
That's what I thought. Kevin? It's your
What?
character.
Are
Is
you
it
Right.
multi-attack?
Is what a multi-attack?
Fist
Fist
of
of
Fury.
Fury.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
the multi-attack one.
Okay.
I clearly posted that PDF for everyone to see. And get all the other questions.
That will make it DC 28 because it is a degree of success.
Cool.
So,
Daka, 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 daka.
ooh, that's a bruise and a daze for Hexenhammer. What happens over Drive, Churia?
So she just sort of like runs up and jumps and then just starts like slamming his fists into his face, just like over and over again as fast as he can.
What spirit is this that moves with the velocity of the northwest wind?
You can't talk. I'm slamming my fist in you.
That's why I stammered.
You need like the talking into the fan effect.
Yeah. So I guess I'll put my character here, and I will. That's it. That's it.
You're gonna stay there next to him?
Yeah.
I will be avenged. Bosun it.
There are 3 gentlemen in mech suits that are within a burst that are within a burst area 30-foot range for an EMP arrow.
Ooh, that's rude.
Nullify technology.
Cool. Cool.
So an EMP arrow is DC 16 nullify.
Alright, so the burst area for 16. 1, 2, 3. 2 of them will succeed, 1 will fail. The ones that succeed are going to roll a powers check versus DC 13 for their suits. And then the one that failed is going to roll against DC 16.
Yay!
One of their suits does go down.
Trapping the gentleman inside of it.
His suit is nullified. I'm just going to put the lab beaker symbol there. Or no, I'll put this symbol on it, the you shall not pass symbol. Cool. What happens, Bosun it?
Picking at arrows, go, tech. Fire it up into the air, let it pop, and only catch 1.
And he falls to the ground with a satisfying clang as his armor slams into the concrete, and he yells, "I can't get up, guys! I can't move my arms!"
Playing Metsu.
And then do you want to move, Bowman, or are you happy hanging out there?
Yes.
Kind of have the whole group in sight from here, so I'll stay right here.
Awesome. Alright, the guy who's dazed and on the ground is going to spend his action to stand up. So that drops his daze off. He does look back here and he says, "Hey, you idiots, get that thing out of here before these heroes get their mitts on it." And these 2 idiots will come in here. They'll grab something and then they will fly out through the wall. Bowman, give me a perception check. Since you're actively looking that way. And by Bowman, I mean Andy. Sorry.
Oh,
Resident.
Oh,
I'm like,
did we
I'm
both
waiting for
just-
Calvin to
I mean
roll. By you, I mean you. 31.
With a 31, you do notice that it looks like they grab a large concrete coffin. It's the best way to describe it. It's about 6 feet long, 4 feet wide, made of concrete, stands about 4 feet tall.
So it's the crypt that the coffin goes into when it's put into the ground.
From looking at it, yes.
Okay.
And they fly off through this wall here.
Yeah, Centuria, we've got a couple of runaways with a crypt. You might want to go catch them.
My turn's not until
I
a
know.
while, but I'll do that.
You're the only one that can literally catch them.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
And this guy, who's still floating around, is going to fire a laser beam. Since Hexen Hammer is occupied over there. Actually, he's going to shoot Hexen Hammer in the back, because Minion's got a minion.
Minion.
And roll an 11, which will not hit Hexen Hammer. And this guy is still nullified. He does not have the technical acumen to turn the suit back on, so I'm not going to let him get out of the nullification just yet.
Yay.
Kevin, Overdrive.
All right, get out your bingo cards. Reza Drive will fly over here and land. And then the eyes glow with a teal hue, and the hair becomes the color of emerald. And she reaches out to bestow the radiant on Bo Mortis. And
You can get everybody with that.
what?
Yeah, it's perception area selective. So you can get everybody.
Is anybody hurt with Bo Mortis?
Oh.
Bestow the radiant is not the heal, I don't think.
Oh, I'm sorry, calibration.
Yeah. That's why I was like,
My
wait a second.
bad. My bad.
Calibration is the
Calibration.
heal.
Look, you got like 4 layers of powers here. It takes a lot of reading.
I'm aware.
It's an alternate power, an alternate power, an alternate power. I'm so confused. I just want to hit things and run fast. Okay. So anyway, anyhow, where is my? Oh, is this one of those things I'm gonna have to heebity-jeebity on the old dice roller because the?
Yeah, I don't think it's part of the.
Yeah, if you're looking to heal, you'll have to heebie-jeebie it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a plus 13, I think.
That sounds
Should
right.
be.
13 ranks. Yes. Here we go. Versus a DC. Are you shitting me?
Well, good
You know
news.
He's got one really bad. Did he go right to staggered? Well, then this works out
Sure did.
gloriously. Because I got rid of exactly one condition.
So you got rid of the staggered, which is good. The bruise is still there, but the staggered is gone, so the danger has sort of passed for Bo Mortis.
Yep.
All right. And then, do you want to take a move action anywhere, or finish? Do you have move
Well, I
action?
moved. I do not, or she does not.
Cool. So you land next to Bo Mortis and bestow the healing upon them.
Yes.
Him. All right. Regular Mortis.
Original Mortis will actually drop the forklift like he was planning it, that he was planning on using, and will fly directly at Hexenhammer and attempt to grab the hammer from him.
No, it's my hammer. I love it.
I'm sure you do, but I love you not having it, and I have my ethereal takeaway.
Ethereal takeaway.
That's wild.
So that's going to be my plan. Let's see if this works or not. Swing and a miss.
You don't have a bonus to hit with that?
I should. Did I not take it?
It did not take a bonus to hit.
Oh, yeah, I should have. 'Cause, 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 All my other stuff has a bonus of 9, so should have that.
22 won't hit, but
It was the thought that counts.
so you go to face through. The hammer actually phases with you as you're facing through it.
Rude.
I know your
President.
ways, vile spirit. Get back.
Resident, get over here and get in fireball formation like the rest of us.
No.
Resident's not being a good team player.
Resident's the only one being a good team player.
Well, my disarm's not ranged. Sorry, I was trying to take the giant evil hammer away so he doesn't hit my friend again.
I'm just
I was dazed, but now you're all here.
I'm just flashing back to the Return to the Temple of Elemental Evil, where we knew there was a blue dragon in there, and my one friend said, "Don't get in a line; it will just lightning bolt us all." So what do? Run in and get in a line.
It do be like that. Beaumortis, what would you like to do?
Doke. So I'm no longer staggered. Do I go to dazed or am I just not staggered?
You're just not staggered.
Groovy.
You have a bruise, but you're not staggered.
Yeah. Still groovy.
And if your bingo card was for me to mess up the powers, go ahead and put your chip down, because that's what that was.
Kind of thinking I should try to disarm as well. Go take another go at it, and then move, so I'm not right in front of y'all.
Y'all.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Why not? You get the hammer away, it might help us out. Just landing an attack won't help as much. And I have a move action anyway, so let's go.
Nope.
Well, I'm just gonna mosey on out of here.
Nothing to see here.
Oh, I don't know if there's some sort of area thing. I don't know how far it'll spread. I'm just nervous about it. Would be at least 30. How fast can Fortis fly or move?
Pretty fast.
Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Shoot. I don't have to
4 miles.
calculate anything.
4 miles and around.
Yeah. I don't want to go back into the mech room, so I'm gonna dart back into the shadows. It's where I'm most familiar.
So we have no gargoyles for you to go perch on.
Talk to.
Yay! New city full of gargoyles. Yeah, I'll scoot like 60 feet back here. Not too far, but outside of these blue circles that I assume are lights.
Cool. Yes, they are lights.
Good boogie.
And Hexenhammer with his days will turn to Mortis and say, "It doth appear to me that thou wishest to see my hammer up close. Thine wish is my command." And he swings the hammer above his head a little bit, and he will actually let it go. And it is going to fly around the room and smack some people.
Roar called. He wants his gig back.
Huh.
Yeah, I've got enough space. It's going to hit everybody.
Sure. That last line you checked went right through a couple walls.
That's true. All right, Resonant. It does go insubstantial, but I will humor you.
Oh,
Yep, he's got enough space.
I assumed, but I'm just gonna,
It is
Trying to save-
multi-attack, so it is
trying to
minus, minus 5 to everybody. Here's Bosun at first. That's 11's not going to hit. Overdrive, Centuria Drive is a critical hit. Overdrive Zenet is a 11, that's going to miss. Mortis is a 21, and Bo Mortis is a 12.
It's because you stuffed all those donuts in my body. Way to go.
Disrespectful.
I think he missed everybody but
Yes.
Centuria Drive. So Centuria Drive, that'll be a DC 32 toughness save, please.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me just do that. Okay, hold on.
Reroll.
Jesus. 25, I guess.
That's a bruise and a daze.
What did he roll to hit me?
He got a total of 21 to hit you, Mortis.
That would be a hit, actually.
Oh, then give me a toughness save. Looking for a 27.
15.
That would be a stagger if you want to keep it.
I rather not keep it.
You've got a hero point if you want to spend it.
I am spending it. Apparently, like he's built to beat up Mortis. So tough to save.
We have with beef, Monfrere.
21.
A bruise and a
French all of a
daze.
sudden?
That's a bruise and a daze, Mortis.
Yes, I rolled a 10.
Mm. An 11, that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the hammer flies around. Most of you get out of the way. And then he pings it off to go get the other Mortis. It comes back to him. And he will go fatigue to do one more thing.
Disrespectful.
It is disrespectful because that thing is to attack you.
Rude.
And get a 28 to hit. Your parry DC.
Less than that.
So, how much less?
My 23.
23. So he is a DC 29 with the multi-attack as he slams you individually.
You need a toughness?
Yeah, yes, please.
Hey!
Hey, you're fine.
Nat 20! Oh, thank God.
So,
Nicely done. Nicely done.
somewhere back in your Centuria brain, you're like, I'm supposed to be tougher than this, and you just know so when he slams that hammer into you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
And then his daze drops off. Overdrive, Churia.
Okay, I guess I need to run after the people who took the cement box. So can I run and then speed wake after I run? Like, so that I'm away from people to not take them?
Yeah, you sure can.
It's
Okay.
selective.
Oh,
The speed
Okay.
wake is selective.
then yeah, I'll speed wake. So because I'm dazed, I only get like the one action.
Right. One move or one standard.
So would my speed wake just count as my action? How would that work?
I think it would have to be a standard action after your move action. Unless it's part of your move action.
You've got hero points, Cat.
Yeah.
That's fair, but it's only 8:30 and I've already almost died like 6 times.
You'll be alright.
Too.
Okay, I will spend a hero point to do both so I can catch them and bring the box back.
Awesome.
Hold on. I got all these channel points here. Let me give you a moral support.
Yay, moral support. Awesome. Are you guys okay if we take our break real quick?
I think so.
Absolutely.
Don't you want to make
30.
this roll first?
We'll keep the moral support. We'll have that roll for when we come back from break. So
Okay.
we'll be back in just a second.